Hey guys, and welcome back to How to Code Basic. You are watching the third part of the tutorial series where I show you how to create a chatting application where the user chats with the JavaScript code. So, where we left off with this button right here where when you click on the My Chatting Application button, it opens this little pop-up. Now, we don't have an actual pop-up, or that's not what it looks like yet. See, that's what we're going to work on in this video. We're going to make it look like a pop-up. And to do so, I have to first open this. Okay, there you go. So, first, I'm going to go ahead and finish up all the comments so that I can make this easier to read for myself and for you viewers. So, this is the main script. That's the handling the pop-up script. And then I can go ahead and close these. This right here is the inputs from user. I can go ahead and close that. This right here is the message display. Maybe that's what I should have named it instead of just display. And then I'm going to go ahead and put another comment right here where new JS elements go. Now again, all of this is optional. You guys don't have to do this, but I'm making it so that it's easier for me to read. So now we need to actually create the pop-up. So to do that, we actually need two divs. We need one div, the div ID pop-up, which is the actual... Okay, so we have two things. We have the div ID pop-up, which is going to be the background. So it's going to be this. This is what it's going to be. When we refresh, it's going to be this part right here from all of this. That's what the pop-up is going to be. It's going to have 100% width, and then the pop-up content. Okay, I actually need to get a hold of this. Okay, and then the pop-up content, which is this div that I'm going to be making right now. Div ID pop-up dash content. Go ahead and grab this, and then oh, okay, so yeah, it goes right here. Yes. Okay. So now I just added a div ID pop-up content, which is going to be this right here. It's going to be the real pop-up. So the reason we need both is because one of them is going to be, so like the background, the actual div ID pop-up, that's going to be the background. That's not really visible, but we have to use it as like an overlay or kind of like an underlay. And then the actual pop-up content is going to be the actual pop-up. So, okay. First, we need to fix the position of it. So make the position fixed. And then z-index. What that does is... Okay, so this is how... Okay, so you guys are going to write this code down, and then at the end I'll explain what all of it means. So the z-index, let's make it 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some padding on top, about 100 pixels. And then we want the width 100% and the height 100%. So, okay. Height is 100%. And then the overflow is auto. And then the background color, I'm pretty sure all of you guys understand this. I'm gonna go ahead and make it blue because blue is my favorite color. Okay, so time to explain what all these mean. And to help out, I'll actually use comments. So in CSS, the way you use comments is you do a front slash, asterisk, and then an asterisk and front slash, and then you type your comment in between. So this display none, what it does is it hides the pop-up on load. The position fixed, it keeps the pop-up in the same place. Keeps the pop-up in the same place. And then the Z index, what this does is, so when we normally write code, it has a Z index of 0 because that's the default. What Z index 1 does is it puts this one on top. So you know how when a pop-up loads, it goes on top of the other website? That's exactly what the Z index will control. It will make the pop-up sit on top. And it'll be the main focus of attention. The padding top is just easy, like it's just cushioning, it's space pretty much. So the padding top would be space right here. So I guess I can write space. Okay, and then the width means it'll go the full width of the screen. Full width of screen. And the height means that it will go the full height of screen. That's And then the overflow auto, this means scrolling. So right here there's a scroll bar. So what the overflow auto does is it pretty much lets you scroll. So if you were to go ahead and set this to something else, like, well, what do you have? You have hidden, which means that it's there but you just cannot use it. No content means it's not there, and no display means that, or no content means that it cuts out everything that doesn't fit inside the space. And no display means that the scroll bar is there, but you cannot use it because it's not, you can't see it. Kind of like our pop-up right now. Right here. You don't see the pop-up, but it's still right here. As soon as you click on this button, it's still right here. So overflow auto means that it'll automatically adjust itself with the scroll bar and everything. So adjust scroll bar. And in the background color, you guys probably know what that is. So left 0 and right, no, sorry, top 0. What these do, these are also forms of padding, margin type of thing. These position it in the top left corner right here, pretty much. Okay, and then now we have our second one, which is the hashtag pop-up content, right? So now we need to go ahead and style this as well. So we need to choose, okay, so I chose a light blue here, so I think I'll go ahead and choose a dark blue here. So actually, let me show you guys so far what it looks like. Probably not the best. Let me see. There it is. That's what it looks like so far. It changes the whole background to cornflower blue, and then now what we have to do is we have to center this. Now this right here is what we're going to be controlling next. This is the hashtag pop-up-content. So I'm actually going to go ahead and make the body's background color. Now, everything that I'm doing here, you guys can go ahead and change. When it comes to colors and text and all that other stuff. But some of these you actually do have to keep the same. Like, if you want a pop-up, you have to do all of this code. But if you just want it to fall right on bottom, you're going to have to kind of come up with that format yourself. So if you can go ahead and change this so when it first loads, it's a white background, and then when you click on this button, it just goes to blue. Now that's not appealing to the eyes, at least for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and change it to cornflower blue. That way, when you refresh, it's cornflower blue, and then when you open it, it really doesn't look much different, other than that little piece of text moving. So now I have to make a background color for the actual pop-up itself. Now I'm going to use kind of like a navy blue. No, I think I'll use royal blue. That will look pretty. And then, now we need to specify the color of the text. So I think I'll go with turquoise, but you guys can go with anything else. Again. So now time to specify what these mean. The background color, we already know what that means. And then the colors, so this would be color of text. That's what the color specifies. So now this is where it's all up to you. So font family is pretty much what type of font you want and what size of a font you want. Actually, no, that's font size. You can do all that stuff later. You can do all that stuff later, actually, on your own. I'm going to go ahead and do this necessary stuff. So we need a 0 margin. We need 20 pixels of padding. So what padding does is it puts 20 pixel space all around it. So if it's on one side of the page, it'll put 20 pixels on that side, so it kind of comes closer to the center. Let's see what we have so far. Okay, that's what we have so far. Now I need to go ahead and change the width. So now this will vary from device to device. Now if you're on mobile, you want the width to be somewhere around 40%, and you want the height to be 60%. But if you're on a laptop screen, it's pretty much the exact opposite. You want like a 60 or 80% width in my case, and then I want the height to be 40%. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so that looks like that. I do not like that. I'm going to go ahead and make this 60%. There. That's better. So now I need to go ahead and center it. So first, let me go ahead and justify the text line. Okay, and then save. Okay, so that's our pop-up so far. We're not done though. We still have a lot of stuff to do. So let's see. Now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and explain all of these. So margin 0, what that does Oh, that's not supposed to be margin 0. Never mind. That's supposed to be auto. What margin auto does is it controls space around border. Padding is pretty much the same thing. Okay, width is full width. No, 80% width of screen. 80% width of screen. And then that's exactly what the height does, except for that's 60% of the height. So now there it is. That's your pop-up. So now if we go ahead and write hi and then click on chat, you see the word hi popping up right here. Okay, now there's no way to close this as of right now, but I'm about to change that. So actually no, let's not change that yet. Okay, so now we need this. We have a div ID display, right? So now we need to go ahead and change this. Hashtag display, and then the styling we need for that is we need to fix the overflow. Again, overflow is scrolling pretty much. So if you know how graphs work, overflow Y would be the scrolling of this, and overflow X would be the scrolling of sideways like this. So I want the overflow Y to be auto, but I want the overflow X to be none. Actually, I think I'll go with no display. No, maybe I'll just do hidden. And then again, I need the width 100%, which is normally set to. And then change the height. So now, as of right now, this will look better on a desktop / laptop than it will on a phone or a tablet. There you go. And then see, you have your text thing right here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and change the look of these text boxes. So let's first find our text box. It's ID input text, so we're gonna go ahead and access that with ID input text. And then under styling, first of all, it's background color. I'm gonna go ahead and set it to cornflower blue. Then, yeah, for now, I think that's all I'll do. I want to keep the border though. Oh wait, no, I don't want it cornflower blue, do I? Maybe, actually. I don't know. And then let me find that button. Button ID is submit. So hashtag submit. And then, you know what? I think I'll do this. Button ID is submit. And then button class. For those of you who do not know what class is, it's just like ID, except for you can have many classes, whereas you can only have one ID. And the class is, other than that, is pretty much the same thing as an ID. So, and in order to access a class in JavaScript, you have to use the get elements by class name instead of the get element by ID. And in CSS, you have to use the period and then the name of the class instead of the hashtag, but it still does the same thing. So background color. So as of this point, you could literally style it any way you'd like. And I know that this is not proper because you're supposed to write the code first before you actually style anything. See, now if we go ahead and press chat a bunch of times, now what happens is it scrolls automatically. Or it doesn't scroll automatically. We'll actually have to come up with a function for that. But what it does do is it actually looks like a chat application. So that means the more times like you chat, So like when you text message somebody, you have to scroll up to see previous texts. That's just like here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now if you look at the chat, we texted 5 last, and then we texted 1 first. So that's how it works. So now I have to go ahead and make a close button. To do that, again, I have to open this script. Actually, before I do that, let me actually put the close button here. So that's going to go inside the pop-up content. And then okay, so spam okay, where is it? Okay, I'm just gonna use this for now. See, now we have like a letter X. I actually have, that's not what I wanted though. Here, I used this in another program before. Let me find it for a sec. So, the correct way to do this is and times. It's not chi, it's times. There you go. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make the span class close, because that's what it is, a close button. And then go ahead and put a line break. So now we have a little close button, right? Yep, there it is. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and put that to the right. So back up here, let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. Dot close text align is right. Now, if I go ahead and refresh, nope, then it's float right. This is exactly what programming is like. It's just testing and then testing and testing. So now if I refresh, it should be right there to the right. There you go. So now okay, now we need to actually edit the script. To do this, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the close button. So var close space equals. Okay, so this is exactly how you get a class in JavaScript. You do this. So first you access the document dot get elements by class name. That's the thing you use, and then you actually type in the class name. So the class for this was close. And then since we only want the first one, since this returns an array, using JavaScript arrays, this is the first one. The 0 means the first one. right? So now we have to do a function. So that's going to be close dot on click equals a function. Oh, right. No, I did that wrong. Sorry. Equals function. There. And then now what we have to do is we have to grab the pop-up again, which is this one. Dot style dot display equals back to none. Okay, so now you should have something that looks along the lines of this, where you click on a button, it opens this pop-up. You have hello, I'm something, like a name, how's life, and then your text box, I will make that look prettier, I swear, says, like, let's say, okay, you type it's great. Then you click on that chat button, it should write it's great. And then when you click on this close button, it will close your pop-up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish this. So go to close. So remember when we hovered over the close button and then see how it does that? And so the users don't know if they're supposed to click it or not, right? We can fix that easily by doing this. Dot close hover in the style tags using CSS and then there. So what you do is you type in the dot close as normal, and then you type in a colon and then a hover. So what happens is every time you hover over the thing, whatever code you type in here will execute. So what we want is a different cursor, right? So we're gonna go ahead and type in cursor, and then the cursor that we want is pointer. So now you can go ahead and do this with all of your buttons. So right now our cursor is set to default on these buttons, and that doesn't look too good. But here on that cross button, our cursor now changes. Instead of to that little text thing, it changes to the pointer. So now I'm going to go ahead and do that with the rest of the buttons. Like this. Dot button hover, and then cursor is pointer. So now I'm gonna go ahead and make it I'm gonna go ahead and make these text boxes a bit different and a bit wacky, like this. Width equals 100%, and then same thing with the button. Width equals 100%. That way, when you refresh, you have the text box, and then you have the chat button. Okay, that looks really ugly. I actually do have to change that. So what I'm going to do is first, right in between these, I'm going to go ahead and put a line break. That's what BR does in HTML. So now there's going to be a little space in between these, but I still need to get rid of the borders. So to do that, so okay, now I have these options. I can go ahead and do border none for both. Actually, sorry, I typed that in the wrong place. And then go ahead and type it right here. So this is option 1, where I can just go with no borders, like this, which is not really that helpful. Okay, or my second option is to create a border with a color. So now I need to choose a color that complements blue. I'm gonna go with the first color I see that looks okay. Probably not the best color to choose. Let's see. Wasn't actually that bad. I don't know. Now I need to go ahead and make the text box a bit bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and make the height of the text box, let's say 40 pixels. So now when you go ahead and type with it, it's a little bigger text box, but the font is still the same. So to fix the font, I'm going to do this. This is where font family comes in. You guys, again, can choose any other font that you want. I'm going to go with this. See how pretty it turns out. That looks like a chatting font. So now I need to change the font of this. So now I need to go ahead and change font size to something appealing like 25 pixels. Hi, my life is going great. And then click on the chat button, and there it is. So, okay, so now that you guys know how to style a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here so that you guys can get some time to style this on your own. Make it however you want. Okay, well that's it for today. Next time I make a video, this is going to look a little different. And the next video will be on the actual functionality of the chat, which I should have done first, but I didn't because I like styling. Okay, bye.